This is going to be a short and sweet little webinar. I have a ton of fun templates to share with you, and then I'm going to let you go about your day. So just a quick introduction to who I am if you haven't been on one of my webinars before. Hi, I'm Kara. You've been getting my emails. I spent most of my career in school buildings as a teacher and a principal, mostly in the New York area. And I came to Smore right before the pandemic started. So I missed out on the building side of remote learning, and I learned all about it from the tech side, which was a really fascinating experience. So glad to have you joining me this morning. Let's get right to it. So my goal today, since you've taken time out of your busy day, which I appreciate, my goal is to give you really concrete, actionable tips that you can immediately implement. Here are 3 areas that we're going to cover. As I said, I'm a New Yorker, so I speak too quickly. Just ping me in the chat and I'll slow down. And a note that tomorrow or the day after, I'm going to send you a follow-up webinar with a follow-up newsletter with a recording of the webinar, the slides, the links to all the templates. So you don't have to worry about how you're going to access all of this. You're going to get all of it. And a heads up that I'm not going to read all the slides to you. I'm going to show you them, and I'm going to say some other things to offer some context. So if you've joined me before, you know that I rise to a high level of passion when it comes to talking about the importance of school communications. And, you know, all of the media hype about the recent NAEP scores, you know, ratchets me up even more. The way I see it, school communications are about building relationships. And when you think about the phrase like keeping in touch is a very physical expression, and it's reciprocal. To stay in touch, 2 people have to be in the relationship together. One person can't be in touch with someone by themselves. It's a 2-way street. So what we're talking about is staying in touch with parents and caregivers all year long, and using updates as one vehicle for being in relationship with them. And my beliefs aren't just something I made up in my own head, they're rooted in education research. So as you take a look at the bullet points on this slide, the thing that's kind of amazing about all of these incredible outcomes is that there's one really simple and powerful reason behind all of this improvement, and the reason is trust. The more parents hear from their child's teacher and principal, the more they feel in the know about what's happening with their child at school. The more parents and caregivers feel involved in school life, the more they trust the adults in the building. And that's the key. The more the parents and caregivers trust the adults at school, the more they support their child's learning. And this is equally important for students who are from immigrant families as students whose parents attended the same school a generation back. And the way I've come to think about it is that family communication is as integral to a child's learning and development as choice of curriculum or instructional method. Okay, so let's talk about the holidays. So Thanksgiving, this is your opportunity to get one mass thank you note out to your community. And these are all the various people that you can say thank you to in one shot. And there are so many reasons to express gratitude to them. Here's just a few that have come to my mind, and I'm glad to hear your suggestions of others as well. So I'm sure you've all seen studies about gratitude and about keeping gratitude journals, and that expressing gratitude is good for our overall mental health and well-being. It's not news to you, I'm sure, but I also was interested to read recently about the gratitude effect, which is studies that show that when you express gratitude to people for their help, it triggers even more helpful behaviors. So it's really a win-win right there. So when you're saying, thank you for all that you do for our school, you are sort of encouraging, just by the nature of the thank you, you are encouraging people to want to do even more. So here's a quick video of a Thanksgiving message for families template that I made. Each section is a placeholder for how you could personalize the newsletters. Let me see. Hold on. There you go. So you can put photos, you can put a Spotify playlist, a top 10 video, a top 10 reasons I'm grateful for you list. At the bottom of it or at the top of it, I really recommend, rather than writing a letter to everyone, I recommend making a video. And if a picture is worth 1,000 words, really a video is worth 1,000 times that. And I'm not actually making that up. I'm happy to include that stat in the follow-up newsletter. And if you have multilingual families, they can watch your message along with their children and get some translation help. As I like to remind everyone over and over again in these webinars, more likely than not, folks will be reading your updates on mobile, which means they won't be reading, they'll be skimming. So be mindful of those habits. Use headers like in my demo template, make a video message instead of writing a letter, and pack in images rather than words. And by the way, I'm saying this even though I started my career as a high school ELA teacher. So it's not like I don't value the written word. All right, December. Here's my favorite slide of this whole presentation. A few things I found on the internet when I Googled teachers in December. So no amount of updates is going to make any of this feel better, but I did try to make some templates that would help ease the pain a little bit. The first 3 of these templates, teaching about the holidays, winter is here, and Christmas newsletter, are filled with resources, links, and ideas for what to teach in this most challenging of teaching months. And the 4th one is a classroom update. So it's meant for teachers to send home to parents and caregivers each week. And if you're a principal, these templates are ones that you can share with your teachers, and they have resources that are adaptable across all age groups. And if you're a teacher, these are for you. And you can find them on the Educator Hive on our website, but I'm also going to send you direct links to all of these templates in the follow-up newsletter that I'm going to send out to you tomorrow or the day after. And just the purpose of these is to reduce friction for your faculty in December. And at the very beginning of this webinar, I talked about the phrase keeping in touch. So here are some templates that you can create ahead of time and send throughout the break as a way of staying connected to families throughout the holidays. And while everyone needs a vacation, yes, they also need reasons to feel good about school. And these 3 templates offer fun, different ways to do that. The holiday newsletter is like a spoof of a family newsletter. In your New Year's newsletter, you can share resolutions for yourself as a teacher or as a building leader, or for your class, for your building. You can also have fun with some best of 2022 lists. And before the students return, it's super helpful to prompt families with need to know info so that there's not a crazy scramble the morning of January 3rd. Everyone will appreciate that you've taken the time to start the new calendar year off right. So a few just a few helpful ways to get through the month. Now, when you get these templates, it will take you very little time to update them with your own pictures, inspiring quotes, and text. And it is worth the time to do this because it will help you build trust. And what happens when you build trust? We're back to this slide. This is what happens. And this is my summary of what I have just shared with you. And I'm going to look at the chat, see if I have any questions. David's been helping out. Thank you, David. Thanks, Jada. I'm glad you love the templates. Are there any other questions that we can help anyone with? All right, well, I'm going to say thank you to you for taking your time to join me this morning. Stay warm, have a very happy Thanksgiving, and I hope it's a calm December for all of you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.